Hey everybody, it's Kent. So I figured I'd hop on here quick and show you. So I bought a box of old kids books here locally. So I'll show you those, and I'll show you a bunch of my online purchases. I don't know. I haven't been buying quite as much as I have been normally, so nothing too crazy and exciting. Um, but this just has a lot of early kids books from around 1900 to 1950 ish. Nothing too exciting, but a lot of them do have nice dust jackets. Jean Mary's Summer Mystery, Anne, Princess of Everything, Jean Mary's Romance. One sec, I'm gonna make sure my Wi-Fi's on. Yep, Wi-Fi's on. Hopefully it's coming in loud and clear for everyone. Jean Mary in Virginia, Rex Lee on the Border Patrol, The Desert Yacht. Again, nothing overly exciting. Most of these will go in the bookstore here for a few bucks a piece, probably. Better English Higher Grade book. Campfire Girls at Holly House. St. Elmo. I think I've sold a lot of copies of that one in the past. Mary Jean's Adventures. The Secret of the Sundial. And the Girl Flyers on Adventure Island. Again, nothing excessively exciting. A lot of cheaper kids books. But actually, I will show you something cool that came in this box. Move this out of the way. Were all of these big little books. These were published by Whitman Company in Racine, Wisconsin. Cute little books. They're about 4 inches tall. Some great titles, and actually they're in really good condition. I've sold tons of these in the past, and usually they're pretty beat up, but these are pretty great. Peggy Brown and the Runaway Auto Trailer. Tom Beatty, Ace of the Service. And again, pretty nice condition on this one. Radio Patrol and Big Dan's Mobsters. I think most of these are from the 1930s and 1940s. Yeah, that one's copyright 1940. Gangbusters Step In, based on the famous radio program of Phillips H. Lord. Got a nice Gene Autry in Law of the Range. And again, really nice condition. I've sold so many of these, and usually they're pretty beat up, but these are pretty nice. The Phantom and the Sign of the Skull. That's a pretty cool one. Secret Agent X9 and the Mad Assassin. And these are actually better little books. I don't know what the difference between the Little Big books and the better little books. Again, by the same publisher, Whitman and Company. Little Orphan Annie and Chisler. Radio Patrol, Outwitting the Gang Chief. Pretty cool. And again, I think they're all 1930s, 1940s. That one's 1939. Myra North, Special Nurse, and Foreign Spies. The Shadow and the Living Death. Got Buck Jones and the Killers of Crooked Butte. Or Butte. Is that how you say that? Butte. Cool Buck Jones. Got Lone Ranger and the Red Renegades. And then last we have the Green Hornet Strikes. And again, really nice condition. I mean, beat up Little Big books are only worth a few bucks, but then once you start getting into the higher grades, they can be worth, 30, 40, 50 bucks, sometimes more. Occasionally you'll see really nice ones, certain titles bringing over 100, but I think most of these are probably worth in the $10 to $20 range. And then I stopped at an antique store down in Wisconsin Dells and bought 2 books. So we got Myths and Legends of Our New Possessions by C.M. Skinner. Charles M. Skinner, published in 1900. Let's see what we got. I think that has stuff on Alaska and the Caribbean and Cuba and that kind of stuff. Looks like we got some stuff on the Caribbean, the Mysterious Islands, the Buccaneers, early Puerto Rico, how Spaniards were found to be mortal, how the Dutchmen helped the Spaniards, the ghost of San Geronimo. We got In the Pacific, we got Finding of the Islands, Ancient Faiths in Hawaii, the Hawaiian Iliad, the Rebellion of Camiola, the Japanese Sword. And then we have more In the Pacific. I better put you on silent. All right, back to work. So again, cool book on myths and legends of our new possessions. We got a really nice copy of California the Wonderful. That one's in really nice condition. California the Wonderful, her romantic history, her picturesque people, her wild shores, her desert mystery, her valley loveliness, her mountain glory, etc., 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 by Edwin Markham, illustrated, copyright 1914. And this one is nicely illustrated. If I can find them, there we go. Staging in 1849. Wild. All right, let's open some boxes and see what I've been buying lately. Usually I make this video on Monday nights, but I think I had food poisoning last night, so didn't get much work done. All right, Mormonism and Masonry. Mormonism and Masonry by E. Cecil McGavin. Published by the Deseret News Press in Salt Lake City, Utah. That one's copyright 1935. Let's see what some of the chapters. Why Joseph Smith joined the Masonic fraternity. Freemasonry offered little protection to the Mormons. The Book of Abraham. The Temple Endowment introduced. The Antiquity of Masonry. Temple work among the Nephites. The discovery of high priest vestments. The Masonic emblem carved in a seashell. And conclusions. That one's only 85 pages. Looks like a box of miscellaneous books. We have The Life of Daniel Boone. Not too exciting. The Romance of a Doctor's Visit by Walter Lewis Wilson, M.D. The Story of Tonti. The Story of Tonti by Mary Hartwell Catherwood, published in 1912. assume it's a book about a Native American named Taunty. Yeah, a lot of times I buy these miscellaneous book lots. Hopefully there's a few gems. Some of them aren't too exciting. A Trip to the Prairies and the Interior of North America, 1837 to 1838. This is a reprint from 1975. Got The Perry Girl by Bess Allen Donaldson. Young Man's Christian Association of Chicago, 1858 to 1898. We got a nice biography of Davy Crockett. 10 Years a Cowboy. Again, sometimes when I buy book lots, I'm not exactly sure on the condition. That one looks pretty nice. That one's copyright 1898. Now, Carissa Whitman, Pioneer of Oregon. And last we have Silhouettes of Charles S. Thomas, Colorado Governor and United States Senator, by Sewell Thomas. So cool collection of Western history books. Let's see if I can get these unwrapped. All right, we have Maltbrun's Universal Geography in 3 volumes. Let's see if I can find the title page for you. A System of Universal Geography, or a Description of All the Parts of the World on a New Plan, by M. Maltbrun. Illustrated in 3 volumes, published in 1847. Got to show you the pictorial title page. I guess they have that as the frontispiece. Beautiful engraving. Here's the decorative title page, that one. I'm not sure this one does have a ton of maps. See if I can show you a few of them. Oh, that looks like a folding plate of a globe. Not sure where that is. Benares. There we go. There's a map. Turkey and Asia. Again, this set is from 1847. See if I can find a couple more. There's another map. There's an old map of China. Again, a nice 3-volume set. Don't remember exactly how many maps this set has, but there's a lot. And again, published in 1847. This set's in pretty nice condition. right, here we have a nice copy of Mother Home in Heaven. I was bidding on a really nice, clean, bright copy, but the price got a little carried away. I think this illustration right here would have been like really bright gold, but this copy's kind of faded. Golden links in the chain that connects Mother Home in Heaven, the literature of many ages and many climes on the three dearest names to mortal given. Edited by Miss J.P. Newman. Let's see if there's a copyright date. Copyright 1889. All right, this is a set of the Women's Institute Library of Cookery. Complete 5 volumes. I've sold lots of sets in the past, but I don't know if I've ever seen one with the original case. I mean, I've probably bought dozens and dozens of these sets in the past, but cool that it comes with the case. It's a little beat up, but still, original case is pretty awesome. All right, here we have the Scientific American Encyclopedia of Receipts, Notes, and Queries. This is a bunch of stuff compiled from the Scientific American magazine. It has lots of really cool contents. Wines, waxes, varnishes, syrups, soaps, pyrotechnics, polishing, poisons, photography, paper, microscopy, lubricants, leaves, jewels, glass, oils, foils, eyes, electrometallurgy, dyeing, cosmetics, cleansing, cider, cements, candles, bites, alloys. So everything you need to know about science. That's one of my favorites. This set, I actually sold the set for my personal collection, so now I bought another set for myself. This is an account of the European settlements in America in 2 volumes, published in 1770. Volume 1 has a nice map of South America. And then Volume 2 has a nice map of North America. Very cool map. Again, from 1770. Very awesome. So yeah, that one probably won't be for sale. All right, oops. Here we have a nice copy of Our Deportment. Again, I've sold dozens and dozens of copies of this one. It's has everything on manners and etiquette and dress and toilet recipes and weddings and dinner parties and balls and dances and everything you need to know be a civilized Victorian lady. That one was published in 1881. And again, that one will be up on eBay here probably in about 2 weeks. Actually, I probably have one on eBay right now. If you check eBay seller, Animal at 52, check out my listings. Usually have about 230 auctions going at any one time. They all start at 99 cents each plus shipping. Oh, that's quite the fancy packaging job for that one. Very nice. Nice fit. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday night. Gonna finish this video, ship a couple things, and go to bed early. All about storytellers, or about old storytellers. About old storytellers of how and when they lived and what stories they told by Donald G. Mitchell. That one's copyright 1877. I think this one, there was some really pretty bindings of this one on eBay, but they're pretty pricey, so I went with a cheaper one. See what we got. We got the First Printers and Their Homes, The Arabian Nights, Goldsmith's Works, Gulliver Swift, An Irish Storyteller, Two French Friends, Fairy Realm. We got the Brothers Grimm. I assume there's something on Hans Christian Andersen. We got a Scotch Musician, Robinson Crusoe, and How a Tinker Wrote a Novel. Cool book on old authors. All right, few more. Again, probably almost all of these will be up on eBay here in the next 2 weeks. So they are all for sale. All right, looks like we got some Francis Parkman. The Pioneers of France and the New World, the Jesuits in North America. Oops. Count Frontenac in New France under Louis XIV, A Half-Century Conflict, Volume 2. Hopefully there's Volume 1 in here somewhere. Yep, there's Volume 1 of A Half-Century of Conflict. All right, we got Mott, Colm, and Wolfe, Volume 1 and 2. We have The Old Regime in Canada. And we have LaSalle and Discovery of the Great West. So what do we got? We got 8 volumes. I think that would have been, 9 volumes. I think that would have been part of a 12-volume set. So it is not complete. Lots of people wrapping them in shrink wrap before they mail them. And I know some of my customers are worried about books getting wet during shipment, but I don't think I've ever had an issue. All right, we have the Standard Library Atlas of Classical Geography, published in 1861. Let's check out some of the maps. Here we go. We got an ancient map of, it's like Northern Africa and Europe and the Middle East and Asia. Here we got the Britannica. Again, nicely hand-colored. Hispania. Assume that's Spain and Portugal, and see, that's called Lusitania, Badek, Satyrion. Not quite sure where those places are. There we got the Germania. Again, cool classical atlas. A lot of maps related to ancient history. Mostly Europe, but I'm sure there's, let's see, that's Italy. Mostly ancient Europe, but there's probably also some Asia stuff. Not sure where that is. Italy, maybe? Macedonia. Again, nicely hand colored. This atlas is from 1861. Not sure how many maps there are. Maybe 20 some. Palestine. Pretty cool. Well, let's see. Looks like about 2 left. And I am calling it a night. Feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment. Let me know if you got any questions. All right, this looks like another box of miscellaneous books, and I think most of these are junk. But I was hoping, like, here's one good one. The Story of the Grail and the Passing of King Arthur by Howard Pyle. Not the greatest of condition. That one's published in 1910. Let's see if I can show you some of the cool illustrations. Pretty great. That one's pretty junky. Missing the front cover. History of the World by Charles Ridpath. Again, just odd volume, kind of junk. But I do buy a lot of these book lots and hope there's a few gems. This box seems like it's definitely lacking in the gems. Got a Rudyard Kipling, Volume 2, junk. Webster's Dictionary. Again, a lot of the lots I buy don't necessarily have a great idea of the condition of all the books. So there we got a nice Webster's Dictionary from 1856. That one's kind of nice. Pretty decent condition for being a 170-year-old dictionary. Hefty bugger. And actually, I do get asked for old dictionaries in the store. People want to know how definitions have changed over the years, so maybe I'll put that one in the bookstore here in Marshfield. All right, last one, and then I think I'm going to call it a night. Clean up this mess, finish my shipping. I think I only have 2 packages. 2 people have paid on eBay, so I think I only have 2 to get shipped. This morning, since yesterday was President's Day, and there was no mail yesterday, I shipped 40 packages out this morning. I legitimately think I went through probably 5 rolls of tape. All right, this looks like a nice set of Charles Dickens. See what we got. We got Little Dorrit, and American Notes, Pictures of Italy, and A Child's History of England. Pretty nice 3/4 leather. And again, I don't think it's complete. I think it's just some odd Dickens. Let's see if these are dated. Yep, 1892. It's always nice when they put publishing dates in books. Appreciate that. I think these actually came from, was it Canada? I think I bought these from Canada. And I was actually kind of surprised shipping from Canada wasn't completely crazy. I know usually to ship a heavy box of books like from the UK usually costs probably almost $100 or more, depending how big the box is. Otherwise, I would definitely buy more books overseas, but shipping is just crazy. Actually, now I am part of the global shipping program on eBay, so I do ship international. Definitely seems to be working out great. I would say probably, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10% of my books sold on eBay now are sold international. All right, what do we got? We got A Tale of Two Cities and Great Expectations, Barnaby Rudge, and Our Mutual Friend. Again, feel free to throw a comment down there if you got any questions. Hit the like button. Well, darn it. Let's see if I can get these lined up. All right, we've got Bleak House, The Life of Charles Dickens, and Dombey and Son. Again, nice 3/4 leather. The one was dated 1892. I don't know if they're all 1892. Nope, that one's 1891. And I think they're all illustrated as well. I definitely have mixed luck with Charles Dickens on eBay lately. This book might bring $8. It might bring 20 or 30. Definitely worth keeping an eye on my auctions. Some stuff goes cheap and some does really well. So if you're patient, you might get some deals. I don't know what the idea is behind shipping books like edge to edge like that. Don't know if it saves them from getting anywhere or anything, but kind of a pain. We've got the Old Curiosity Shop and Oliver Twist. We have Christmas books and Christmas stories, and David Copperfield. Check out the Christmas books one. There we go. We got Scrooge and Tiny Tim on the frontispiece. Nice decorative title page. That one's 1892. Again, nicely illustrated. Let's see if there's any other illustrations in A Christmas Carol. There we go. This pleasantry was received with a general laugh. Cricket on the Hearth, The Haunted Man. There we go. We got Christmas Stories then. Again, nicely illustrated Dickens from the 1890s. All right, we have the Uncommercial Traveler, Edwin Drood reprinted pieces, Nicholas Nickleby, and Martin Chuzzlewit. All right, well, since I got a few people watching, maybe I'll show you some of the books I have, some of my listings coming up here in the next week. Let's see if I can flip you around this way. These aren't quite listed yet. I think probably in the next week here, a lot of these will be up. There's a nice 2-volume set of The Life of Napoleon from the 1830s. Egyptian Myth and Legends. We have some G.A. Henty. Sir Walter Scott, Francis Parkman, Dictionary of Dates. We got a couple Oz books. Lots of... One second, I'm going to set you down. Get my step stool out so I can show you. I'm always getting asked, especially on my Instagram, I post a lot of my pretty books. So these are all going to be up for auction. So I am selling some of my Victorian fine bindings. We have the poems of Alexander Pope. We have Lord Byron's poetical works. Got a nice Uncle Tom's Cabin. I think that one's from 1886 or 1885. Favorite poems. That one's hiding behind this bar, so I can't pull that one out. We got the works of Thomas Hood. We have poetical works of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Got nice heroes of the Elizabethan age. I think that one's from the 1920s. We got a Robert Browning. That's a nice leather. We got a Hogarth, William Hogarth illustrated. That one's from, I think, 1876, and it has a ton of engravings. So that one's pretty awesome. We got Vegetable and Animal Physiology. That one's from the 1850s. We have some Robert Louis Stevenson. We have some Bronte works. Charlotte Bronte, The Life of Charlotte Bronte. We got Shirley and the Professor. True Grit. That's an adventure story about a couple boys in Africa. We have some of these, what do you call these? International library, some technical manuals. Let's see, these are kind of tool related ones. I also have some metalwork ones. I'll show you over here. We got a nice Manners, Culture and Dress. These are kind of cool, by Edward Ellis. The Daughter of a Chieftain and Lost in the Rockies. Again, I think most of these will be on eBay probably for sure in the next 2 weeks. Fortune telling for fun and popularity. So y'all are getting a little heads up of what's coming down the pike. The Murderer's Companion, that one's about a man that was falsely convicted of murder, or at least accused of murder. I'm not sure if he was convicted. We have a really nice, clean copy of Sitting Bull and the Indian War. That one's really, really nice. We got a nice 2-volume Personal Recollections of the Joan of Arc by Mark Twain. Got some Washington Irving. Some Shakespeare. We got nice African Game Trails. Here we go. Here's some of the other metalwork titles. We got Malleable Casting, Mixing and Melting Cast Iron, Steel Casting, Dry Sand and Loam Molding, Brass and Alloy Founding, Founding Equipment, Core Making and Machine Molding, Green Sand Molding, Metal Pattern Making Equipment and Operations, Erecting, and Pattern Making. Ooh, almost missed that one. We got the Farmer's Shop Book, and then this is a really cool, I think it's from 1880, the ABC of Bee Culture by A.I. Root. That's a pretty early one. And, I mean, most of these that you find that are that early are pretty banged up, and that one's pretty decent. Sold lots of copies of that, and they made 1 million different editions, and they're still printing that one, I believe. Here we have a really cool Alcoholics Anonymous. This is a 2nd edition from 1955, and I believe this is a 2nd edition first printing. It's kind of confusing, but I did check the points, and there was a couple errors in the first printing. So yeah, that is a 2nd edition first printing. Dust jacket's kind of banged up, but the book underneath is really, really nice. That one, I'm not sure how well it's going to do. It should bring 200 to 300, I think, just because it's in such nice condition. Actually, I really like this one. Let me pull this one down. This is a James Way catalog. I think that was out of somewhere in Wisconsin. The James Way, a book showing how to build, ventilate, equip a practical, up-to-date dairy barn. The James Manufacturing Company in Fort Atkins, Wisconsin. And this one just has hundreds and hundreds of illustrations. There's some barn plans in the back. Looks like you got the drinking cups. Lots of different illustrations of the different stanchions and barn equipment. That one's really cool. I like it. Some of the different feeding systems. Some of the roof capulas and vents. There you go. Even got the weather vane, cow weather vane. Again, you can probably still see a lot of these on barns in Wisconsin. I really like that one. All right, let's see. Well, there's some more of the international library books. Most of these are related to steam engines. These are piled behind boxes, so I can't really show you those. Well, we still got a few people watching, so maybe I will show you the beginning of the video. I showed off some of these Big Little books. These were published by the Whitman Company in Racine, Wisconsin. I just bought these locally. They came out of a local estate. And these are really, really nice condition. We got the Lone Ranger and the Red Renegades. Most of these you find that were used by kids ended up getting pretty beat up, loose pages, damaged covers, but these are really nice. The Shadow and the Living Death. The Green Hornet Strikes. And again, really nice condition, nice and clean. I don't know if it's most of these are probably worth about 10 to 20 bucks a piece. Some of the titles are a little rarer, and again, it's all based on condition. If they're in beat up condition, they're worth a couple bucks. Buck Jones and the Killers of Crooked Butte, or Butte, not sure. We got Myra North, Special Nurse. Radio Patrol, Outwitting the Gang Chief. Gene Autry in Law of the Range. Gangbuster Stepped In. Radio Patrol and Big Dan's Mobsters. Little Orphan Annie and Chisler. Secret Agent X9 and the Mad Assassin. The Phantom and the Sign of the Skull. Tom Beatty, Ace of the Service. Peggy Brown and the Runaway Auto Trailer. So yeah, I think there's 14, and again, they're in really nice condition. Give me a sec. I think I'm going to take off my sweatshirt, and since there's still some people watching, maybe I'll show you, give you a little bookstore tour, show off some of the books we have in the bookstore here in Marshfield. Let's see, grab this. I've already shown off these a bunch of times, so I probably won't show you those. In here we have a ton of these medical library or classics of medicine library. These are reprints of old medical classic medical books. Diseases of the Skin, William Osler's collected papers on the cardiovascular system, the collected essays of Sir William Osler, Anatomy of the Brain and Nerves, Joseph Lister, treatise on blood inflammation. And there's a few World War I and World War II, I think mostly aircraft related books. Aircraft Engines by Colonel R.H. Drake, Trailblazing in the Sky, Airborne Warfare, and I think most of these are World War I and World War II. War Through the Ages by Lynn Monstros. All right, I'll take you over here. I do have a ton of these signs, $10 a piece. Can you believe it? I do sell quite a bit of these. There's everything. Alice Chalmers. There's a pig one. There's a sloth with a cupcake. Phillips 66. Wash Your Paws. Pontiac. Phillips 66. Mars. More to Explore. Def Leppard. I have hundreds of different designs to choose from. So if you're local, definitely worth checking out. So over on this wall, top shelf, we have geology books. A lot of stuff on mining and petroleum geology. What is that one? One second, I'll take a look at this one. Introduction to Geology, intended to convey a practical knowledge of the science by Robert Bakewell, 1838. You never know what you're going to find here. Seismic prospecting for oil reserve engineering, geology of Africa. Do have a ton of these salesman samples. Let's see if I can pull some of these out. Holbert's Story of Jesus. Got the Volcano's Deadly Work, from the fall of Pompeii to the destruction of St. Pierre. The Nations of Europe in the Great War. America's War for Humanity. The Great War of Europe. Again, these would have been used back in the day when the traveling book salesman would have went door to door showing off all these book samples. So yeah, most of those are World War II related. Put that one back up there. Next we have the gardening section. Lots of stuff on flower and vegetable gardening. Roses, Book of Bulbs, begonias, African violet, herbs. And then it kind of transitions into forestry books. Foxfire. We got Foxfire up there, and then we got some newer Foxfire down there as well. Got some old vintage psychology books. Psychology and sociology mostly. These are pretty cool. They're the Monthly Review. That was a publication, I think, out of London. And they're rebound, but that one's from 1760 and that one's from 1761. And they have stuff on modern literature of that time, science, medicine, history, theology, world history. We have some modern library books, classics, Ulysses, Gone with the Wind. And then here's a nice lineup. I'm surprised I don't sell more of these. Some really pretty bindings, mostly from like the 1840s to the 1870s. Lives of celebrated women. Pilgrim's Progress. There's a nice copy of Pilgrim's Progress. Henry IV. Nice crest on the front. Jewels for the household. Then we do have a nice little section of farming books. Physics of Agriculture, Breeding and Improvement of Farm Animals. Houseplants. That looks like a German farming book. Got a couple Lippicot's farming bookshelf. We got swine and dairying. Feeds and feeding. I think I have a bunch of copies of Feeds and Feeding. Got some Wisconsin egg books. Commercial Products at the Sea. That one's from 1878. We got the Herring. That one's from 1864. Resources of the Sea. Another copy of Feeds and Feeding. Productive Sheep Husbandry. The Century of the Reaper by McCormick. Milk and Milk Products. We got some modern farming and vet books. Got horses, sheep, cattle, goats. Some more Wisconsin. Bailey's Magazine. Raising turkeys. Breeding and improvement of farm animals. Got a few odd beekeeping books. And then, of course, we have, 4 copies of bee culture. And actually, I think there's a couple more up there. And I think I have a 1966 edition up on eBay here in the next few days. Bantams, game bird raising, farm management. Then we got the medical books. We got lots of old medical books at the bookstore. There's a nice lineup here, and then there's some of the fancier ones here in the display case. But there's tons. Disease of the skin, industrial medicine and surgery. We got some dental books. Diseases of children, therapeutics of infancy and childhood, histopathology of the teeth, operative dentistry, root canal therapy, prosthetic dentistry, diseases of the heart. That one's from 1847. I think that one's on the liver. Individual gymnastics, the forgotten clue, treatment of fever. That one's from 1852. It's been rebound, but pretty nice. We've got some modern medical books. Got some railroad books. And down the next shelf, I think, is mostly science. Optics, television engineering. This one's cool. It's a directory of newspapers and periodicals, 1933, and it has tons and tons and tons and tons of maps. See if I can show you a few. Let's see, it looks like a map of Mississippi. I think there were some city maps too. Oops. Ohio. Here we go. There's Quebec. We don't care about Canada. So yeah, that one's full of maps. I think I tried that one in eBay and didn't get much interest, so it's here at the bookstore. American Ice Harvest. Airplane structures, airplane structural mechanics, history of printing, steam engine, metalworking products, rainmaking, and other weather vagaries. Sanitary plumbing. We got an old patent report, practical chess, microscope, marine boards of the Pacific coast, American highway practice, aerial photography, flying high, internal combustion engines, technical drawing, history of Unilever. Looks like we got a couple nice microscope books and science books, house painting, decoration, and paper hanging. So yeah, nice and more science and metalwork and kind of engineering kind of books.